In this video, we're going to talk about parenting and imposter syndrome. Because sometimes do you ever feel like, how did you become a parent? And I'm not sure I'm doing a good job. If you do, you're not alone. So many parents feel that way. And this idea of an imposter syndrome is something that happens not just in parenting, but in work lives and personal lives across the board. So what does that really mean? Imposter syndrome means that you feel like you're being an imposter, a fake, that you aren't actually doing what you are qualified, capable, and able to do. And that at any moment, someone's going to come and take you away and find you out for the fraud that you really are. Now, most of us, when we have an imposter syndrome moment, when we feel like we're being a fraud, it's not actually true. It's just a feeling that we have inside. And the truth is we are capable, qualified, and able to do whatever it is that we are charged to do. It's simply a feeling that we have. And when it comes to parenting, since there's not usually any formal training around it, I've talked to so many parents who just feel like they don't know what they're doing, especially in a pandemic when none of us do. So I thought we would talk about it. And in case we haven't met before, hi, I'm Dr. Marcy, and it is lovely to meet you. Now, I will have to admit that I've never had imposter syndrome as a parent, mostly because I'm not a parent, which leads to its own set of imposter syndromes of I'm a parenting expert, yet I'm not a parent, and therefore I sometimes feel like I'm a fraud and someone's going to come and find that out and tell everybody. Now, I do have 20 years of experience in the field. I've written 2 books that have been bestsellers. I've traveled around the world talking to parents and helping them and speaking about this, and yet I still feel like I'm not necessarily qualified. I look at my competition and my colleagues and so many of the other parenting experts that have been on Oprah, like Dr. Shefali, have their own children and talk about their experiences in their own home. And I don't have that. Now, I've been in hundreds of homes because my practice is to go in, and I've worked with thousands of families. I've worked with hundreds of schools, and yet I still sometimes feel like, who am I to tell parents what to do with their kids? Now, I know in my head that's not true, and I can do my work to work past it, but I'm still working past it. And I share this to let you know that just because we feel like an imposter doesn't mean that we are. So when are the moments where you feel like an imposter, where you feel like you're not qualified to be doing what you're doing and you're a little worried that someone's going to find out? So think about those moments. And now think about these concepts around parenting that I just want to clarify for you about what's actually possible. So the first thing is sometimes parents think that you have to have all the answers. And that's not true. You just have to show up for the conversation. It is okay to tell your kids you don't know or you don't understand or that you're frustrated. You don't have to have the magic wand that's going to make it all better. You just need to let them know that you see that it's hard and you get it. Showing up is way more important to your parenting than having all the answers. Another common experience that I've heard from parents who feel like they have the imposter syndrome is that they're trying to be the perfect parent. And the truth is, there's no such thing. It doesn't work that way. Perfection is not achievable. It's actually about showing your children that it is okay to make mistakes, that they get to be human, and so do you. They understand that mistakes are okay and that they get to be human by watching you be human, by watching you have moments that are not so graceful and then acknowledging them later, by seeing you have moments where you make a mistake and then work to correct it. Yet as adults, we sometimes feel like we can't let kids know that we've made a mistake, or we just don't think to tell them. Letting your kids know that you're not perfect, showing them that there are mistakes and bumps and kerfuffles along the way is powerful in order to make the changes, in order to raise the humans, in order to achieve as a family what you want to achieve, because it will change behavior when your kids know that it is okay to make mistakes. And the third common theme in imposter syndrome with parents that I wanted to share with you is the idea that you have to be with your child as much as possible. That if you're off at work, you're doing something wrong because you should be with your kids. Now, conversely, you often feel that then when you're with your kids, you should be at work, which is a different form of your imposter syndrome, right? It is not about quantity. It is not about spending every available moment with your kids. It's about quality. It's about when you are with them, being really with them. When you are with them, showing up with love and having fun and playing games and being present. And then when you need to do other things, letting them know that they need to wait, or that they need to play by themselves, or that they need to problem solve. Those are all powerful things that your kids can only do if you're not actually around. So make sure that it is not about the quantity of giving them every moment of your possible available time and all of the time that you are supposed to be doing something else in the back of your head as well. But being a great parent is about taking moments where you show up fully and completely, where you put your phone down and you play with your kids. And then other moments where you're engaging with them, but also cooking dinner or doing work emails and half distracted and half with them. And then other moments where you're absolutely not accessible. It teaches them independence and problem solving in a way that is powerful. So those are some truths about parenting. Now we need to talk about this imposter syndrome space. How do we change that? What do we do about that when we're feeling stuck in our head of, they're going to find out I'm being a horrible parent? Well, number one, you need to remind yourself that the fact that you can even reflect on that and question that and wonder about that means you're doing better than you think you are. The second is, when you're feeling that way, you start evidencing all of the places, all of the ways that you're not qualified, all of the ways that you're not doing a good job. I've gotten very good at justifying that not having kids means I shouldn't be a parenting expert. But that's not true. I've dedicated my life to understanding behavior and understanding kids and understanding family dynamics so that I can come in and help you, so that I can give speeches about how families work, about how to change the behavior of your kids. But when I get stuck in my imposter syndrome mode, I just look at the fact what's missing. And so the very first way, and I'm going to give you 2 ways to change your imposter syndrome. The very first way is to stop evidencing all that's lacking and start looking for all of the ways that you have accomplished it, that you are qualified, that you can do it. Look for those pieces, because that is where your power comes. And that's where you get to remind yourself, this is not imposter syndrome. I actually am. I am a parent and I'm a good one. Look where I got that right. I fed my kids every day last week. They ate something. My kids actually went to bed every night. Maybe not exactly when I wanted them to. Maybe not as smoothly as I was hoping, but they did make it to bed every night. There are many, many ways that you can look and see that you're doing a great job as a parent. Does it mean there isn't room for improvement? No. But I know that I can evidence either all of the ways that I think I'm not qualified, or look at all of the ways that I am qualified, all of the families that I have changed, all of the people who've come back to me and said, thank you, you made a difference, your work made a difference. It matters that way. So start evidencing all the moments that your kid said, I love you and thank you, and that was great. All the times your friend said, wow, you had that. And all of the moments that you did what you knew was right for your kids. That's going to start changing this imposter syndrome. The other place is to look at, well, what do you wish you did instead in that moment? In that moment where you felt kerfuffled and you can't let that thought go, or in that moment where you're like, yelled at my kids and I wish I hadn't. Okay, great. Stop beating yourself up for it. And instead say, okay, well, next time that I'm in a situation like that, what will I do? Next time I'm frustrated and my kids are running around like hooligans, I'm going to take a deep breath and realize that the extra 30 seconds to collect myself is not going to make a huge difference in this behavior. I'm going to tell my kids that they need to figure it out because I need to go get a glass of water to drink. I'm going to tell my kids exactly what I want to see them doing because I know that that's how you change behavior. When you are in that moment of imposter syndrome, the way to change it is by looking at, what do you want to change in your experience? Do you need to change anything at all? And to look at all of the evidence of how you are already doing a great job at what you are charged to do. Parenting is more about showing up than being perfect. So just make sure you keep showing up for your kids. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did and are looking for more, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as consider joining my parenting program. We do parenting classes that are full of tools and strategies on how to change behavior. So if you are looking to change your parenting, which you might not need to do, but if you are, come join my parenting program. I'll make sure the link is below for you. Have a wonderful day. And remember, The fact that you are watching this video, the fact that you are showing up, the fact that you are asking these questions means that you're doing a better job as a parent than you think you are. Small steps lead to big behavior change. So let go of your imposter syndrome and start taking small steps to becoming a better and better and better parent. I'll see you next time.